This is a poison ivy stem. It's so old that you wouldn't think this is poison ivy. This is a poison ivy stem. I use poison ivy as a skin cream every day, and I put it in my drinks. And I use it and it's an antidote to Lyme disease. Ticks do not come on you if you use poison ivy.
It doesn't give you a rash?
No. After a while, you don't get the rash.
You build up an immunity to it.
And I believe in poison ivy.
Wow.
Most people think I should be committed to the hospital. The rest of the world's crazy, not me. And these trees have wisdom, they talk, they communicate. Everybody thought I was nuts, but now it's in science. Oh, trees communicate with each other. Well, 20 years ago, Largess is crazy, he's smoking weed again. Well, I've been sober 34 years, I ain't smoking weed. It's true. I've heard voices, I know that they communicate, I can tell. Because if you're with trees as much as I'm with trees, for centuries, for decades, it's just, you learn that. You just know that they talk to each other. They're connected by roots. They love each other. They protect each other. They're a community. They're a family like the Coughlins or the Largesses.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah. We age trees with Dr. Cook from Columbia University in here. And these they grow on a mat. So these trees that look narrow are 150 years old. The bigger trees are 2 to 250, and the giant beech trees are 300 or more years old. We record oaks in here at 300 to 400 years old. This is one of the oldest forests in southern New England. It's the oldest documented old-growth forest in southern New England.
So I have a serious question. If they're that old, how are they so narrow? Are the rings just really tight together?
They're really tight. They grow in shade, so American beech, you can see the baby beeches even here. These can be 100 years old, these babies, because they grow in the shade. So that when the mother beech finally falls over, they take over. So they grow in shade. They can grow where tree rings are almost impossible to see without a microscope. Is looking at what the landscape was, what the forest component was of the coastal New England. That's why it's so rare. Like you can't put this in a book.
You have to live it.
You have to be able to see it to see what really was happening. You know, like I said, the forest is real life. You know? Just like the dead trees that fall on the forest floor because they die, giving nutrient to the new forest to these little baby beech trees that grow up to be big trees. So death is actually important. When we die, we all turn into ant-eating corpses.
So this is a 300-year-old red maple that
fell.
Wow. What happened to it?
Just in time, like trees are like us. They have a lifespan. But as I say again, this dead tree falls, and it's so important what it's doing for the forest floor. So it was great because it grew. It was great habitat, it was a great tree, and now it's fallen, but it's still working.
It's giving back.
For the forest in death.
Yeah.
So crucial. It's a special tree to me because the state tree of Rhode Island is red maple, the most common tree in the eastern United States. They grow all the way down into the Everglades, which I'm doing a massive study on.
Wow.
So they mean a lot. Everyone, oh, red maples are common. Well, just because they're common don't mean they're not great.
What is this green, these small green leaves popping out all over here?
Those are forest flowers.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And there's all different types of flowers that are going to grow here.
Okay.
And this thing will be a coat of flowers coming up. So we have these native forest flowers all through the forest here.
So why is this raccoon special?
Well, today when I got up, I was in the forest this morning. There was a raccoon that had a broken back legs. And it was really sad. And it was eating some birdseed that I had put out in the forest floor. And it was like, wow, the poor thing was just struggling. It was trying to survive, and it just dragged itself off. So it meant a lot. And I was told that I should call the police and have them kill it or whatever, and I don't believe in that. It's all part of nature. I mean, it was so sad, but something else is going to eat that poor raccoon today. But it was so cool to see raccoons. Raccoons, to me, are any animal in the forest is sacred, you know. When I see an animal, it's just a special moment. So even a toy animal, which represents the real animal. So I love you, baby. It's a bench. They call it a bench, where the limb grew and it broke and went up straight again.
That's amazing.
So it's real rare. They have windows too. Some trees have holes in them like windows, but that's called a bench, which is over here. You know, a bench seat?
Yeah.
Which is to actually sit in the tree.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
Taking a photo for Instagram?
What's that?
You want to take a photo for the gram?
Yeah.
All right.
300 plus years old. A giant white oak. If you have a tree that's really big at the base and really big at the top, that's a sign of great age. And this tree is just a ancient baby.
Yeah, it looks like a column.
Yeah. And that's why these trees like this are so rare. We're going to measure this tree and try to remember next time. This is how a forester measures: diameter, breast height. And we can do it in diameter at 4.5 feet. And it's 32 inches in diameter. And it's 8 feet, 4 inches in circumference. So that's how we do it at 4.5 feet. And then the heights, we use a kilometer, which I don't have. But these trees, we've measured at close to 100, 95 feet, 94 feet. So these trees, these coastal forest here is very tall compared to the rest of coastal area forest. As a tree surgeon, we work in trees 60 to 70, maybe a few in the 80s, but very rare because the coastal trees, it's really hard for them to get tall. So why is this one so much taller? Because the forest used to be more extensive and the trees could be taller because they protected each other. So this is
so the ones down by the coast would be smaller, and then
right.
Once you get in here, because it was so protected by all
right.
the rest.
Yeah, it used to be from the coast all the way here, or the whole
Wow.
island. This is what the island was. This is what Rhode Island was. This was coastal Rhode Island, Jamestown, Portsmouth, Newport. Whenever I find even small beech groves, they're important. So I'm trying to document them. I even found some in the city of Newport, American beech trees that I didn't know existed in yards that are from Newport before it was a city.
Wow.
And I'm trying to document them next. I found some really old ones.
Wow.
Very fascinating. You can see over here this yellow birch. We got to see the yellow birch.
Seems to gleam, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. You can
That's
see
amazing.
the peely bark. The birch trees have lenticels in them. So that's how you can tell you have the 5 birches in New England are yellow, black, white, gray, and red. But these yellow birch are really hard to find in the coastal area. Even in western Rhode Island, you don't see them everywhere. They were used as veneer, and they're really valuable.
Really?
They take a long time to grow.
Why were they used as veneer?
Well, it's just a great veneer log.
Oh.
They're really, really good for veneer. And you can see the peely bark, but I love them, you know, and hugging them. You can feel them. The trees love back. So during this pandemic, it's okay to hug your tree. I know you can't hug your girlfriend. You can't go see your friends and even hug them or shake their hands or kiss them, but I can kiss this one. She's my baby.
Oh yeah?
This is a little yellow. I love her. Look at this one. This is the most colorful yellow birch I know of. It's just so yellow. And every day this forest means more because every day there's more forest cut down and there's more developed, and we live in a society where the economy is all about building houses and all about shopping centers and all about stadiums and stuff that I do too. You know, it's all about, you know, this is going to become more and more valuable, these open spaces, these forests that we're saving. So it's crucial right now at this time. Think of 1,000 years from now. 1,000 years from now, this will be here.